quieter moments, we also remembered those who paid the price for our freedom. Commemorations and anniversaries are very important elements in our national life. Last summer we paid tribute, 50 years on, to all those who took part in the deadly events of the Second World War. In May we gave thanks for the end of the war in Europe. And then in August, for the first time since the end of the war in the Far East, we gave a real welcome home to the veterans of Burma and the Pacific. It was difficult to know that day who felt the greater pride, those of us watching or those on parade. It was an unforgettable day for all of us. The war demanded immense sacrifices and acts of selfless endurance and bravery. But the final victory gave much of the world 50 years of relative peace. All generations since then have had good reason to be grateful to those who gave their service, and in all too many cases, their health or their lives, so that the rest of us could enjoy the freedom to get on with our lives in peace. The work for peace is never-ending. At long last, the fighting between the factions in the former Yugoslavia seems to be coming to an end, with life beginning to return to some kind of normality. This Christmas, thousands of Commonwealth servicemen and women will be far from their families, already playing their part in the international force dedicated to keeping that peace. Closer to home, there has been a peace in Northern Ireland for more than a year. It is heartily welcomed by all people of goodwill. These are the first fruits of that ceaseless work for peace. They could only have been achieved by the quiet and determined efforts of all sorts of different people, some of them famous, many of them unnoticed and unsung by the world at large, but all peacemakers nonetheless. It is when the fighting ceases that the work of reconciliation and reconstruction can begin. A short time ago, I invited a number of workers from volunteer organizations to Buckingham Palace. They came from all over the Commonwealth, and they had worked in many countries, from Bosnia to Rwanda, from Chechnya to Cambodia. They go quietly about their business in harrowing and dangerous circumstances, giving help to the suffering and the hungry. Like the people who fought and won the last war, they make no claim to be anything out of the ordinary, but their commitment is very far from ordinary, and their contribution is something of which their compatriots can feel deeply proud. It was during my visit to South Africa last March that I witnessed a glowing example of how the inspiration and energy of one person can benefit thousands of others.
Majesty, you are so welcome. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you. It's very nice to come and see your work.
Thank you. I'm Ethel,
Yes.
and I'm from Lissycasey in Ireland.
7 years ago, Sister Ethel came to this township outside Port Elizabeth, where she began teaching young children under the shade of a solitary tree.
Okay, 10.
Through her hard work and tenacity, she has now built a preschool and a clinic. These provide for children and teenagers who have missed out on formal education. Soup and bread are distributed to the heads of 500 families from the township each day. And through the gift of a piece of waste ground by the local council, people are being taught to cultivate the land and grow their own vegetables. but I suspect that Sister Ethel's modesty and sense of humour prevents her from appreciating the full extent of her achievements. The traditional Christmas message speaks of peace and goodwill among men. It is the volunteers and the Sister Ethels of this world who spread that message, and it is for the rest of us to welcome it. Christ said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." Thanks to the peacemakers, many millions will enjoy a better Christmas this year. I hope your Christmas will be a happy one. God bless you all.